like me. And I'm back. Welcome back, League of Gentlemen. Week 5? We're going into week 5. 1-3. Finally got a dub. Beat the worst team in the league. I hope everyone had a great week last week. I apologize again for not doing the League of Gentlemen weekly podcast / whatever you want to call it. I was a little busy last week, but I apologize this week. We're back. Seattle Kraken looking good this year. Pretty excited about that. We got NHL, we got basketball, we got football. Jonathan Taylor versus the Denver Broncos today. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor's not playing, and I have him, which makes it even worse. Other than that, I'm not looking good. Cordell Patterson's hurt. JT's hurt. Keenan Allen probably won't play this week again. I'm playing Pat. But first and foremost, we're just going to go into the league matchups. Week 4's results. First and foremost, we're going to start with Cam Marries Jewish Girls in ELE. This game was a complete blowout. 160.7 to 90.45. Dan had a big and exciting week last week. So it's fitting that he was not able to manage correctly last week. But going forward, I think he's going to have a strong case for one of the greatest teams of all time, especially after becoming a father, which we all want to congratulate him. Last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever Pat became a dad for the first time, he had a great year. So I think Dan had a slow week this week, but he'll be back. Next game is Midget Shoulders versus Future Dilf Squared. Willie with the easy dub, 158.05 to 127.7. Pat is 0-4. 0-4. Having a tough year. He made a trade. We'll discuss that later in the video. The next game, which was one of the biggest games of the week, was Bilbo Swaggins versus Papa J's Kool-Aid. We had two undefeated teams going at it. Surprisingly, Bilbo Swaggins, 138.9 to 115.8, is now 4-0. 4-0 going into a week 5. Can't believe it. You know, I might not be up there, but at least my brother is. The next game, which was another tough matchup, Roosevelt's Rough Riders, 135.05 to this league is Horseshit, 116.93. Again, two great friends of mine. I was hoping Cam would come out with the dub, but GB pulls it off. This is a very exciting race between GB and Conti. $500 bet is on the line, and going into the next matchup, like I incredibly planned, Alex the Great versus RG Three-Way, 120.75 to 116.9. This margin was very close. It came down to the last game of the week. RG Three-Way started Jerry Jeudy, 15.3 points. All he needed was a little bit more from that guy, and he would have won, or George Kittle, which he traded for. But Alex Conti with the dub there. And then the game of the week, not even unbeaten. Two teams that haven't won. 0-3, 0-3. ACEaglesFantasyPros.com. That's me versus Dwayne Rock Hard Johnson. 152.95 to 106.2. Easy W. I knew it was easy. I told you guys there was no chance James was going to win that game. But of course, with a win, obviously now I'm down Cordell and JT going into week 5. We'll see if I can pull it off. It's going to be a tough week. We had some trades that I didn't bring up last week, and it seems like we've had a lot of adds and drops. Obviously, the waiver wire was hot this week. One of the big trades we had was Future Dilf, James Conner, and Miles Sanders. Trading away to this league is Horseshit, Brian Hall, and Devontae Smith. Looks like Cam's team is getting stronger. Pat is trading people away. He thinks Devonta Smith might be the next coming of Christ, but it's probably not going to happen. And then we also had a trade Alex the Great and Papa J's Kool-Aid, where Papa J's traded Javonte Williams and Hopkins, like the kicker, of course, to Conti, and Conti gave up Bass, Philadelphia D, and Gainwell. What an incredible trade for BJ. He ended up, Javonte Williams is now hurt, out for the season, so that's a plus for for Papa J's going forward. Next step is to do the power rankings. I don't think we really have to discuss the last two teams, 12 and 11, 11 and 12. It doesn't matter where you put them. They're both 0 and 4. I will put James as the worst team in league history so far because he has no wins ever. Last year, TJ, I think, also started 0 and 4 or 1 and 3. He had one win in the first 7 weeks, 8 weeks. So as a newcomer to the league, he actually has the fewest points, even though I scored 55 points in 1 week. So clearly his team is in struggle mode. And then Future Dilf, obviously 0-4, looking awful. He's hoping to win this week, but obviously he's probably playing the greatest manager of all time. So most likely he will lose. The number 10 spot will go to me. I still think my team was good, but now that I have JT on the fritz of being hurt every week and not getting the action he should be. I mean, he's getting action, but he just looks awful. And also Cordell Patterson getting hurt, it really doesn't help me. But obviously seeing Tom get a couple of his toys back, clearly he's going to be all right going forward. But as of now, I'm the number 10 spot. At number 9, I hate to give it to him, but ELE at 498 points. Right now, his team's, I hope it gets better, but obviously it's in struggle mode. At number 8, we're going to give this to Alex the Great. I know he's 3 and 1, but his team is looking much more suspect. He did pick up Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams is out. So now Conti is in the struggle bus at number 8. At number 7, we have Cam Marries Jewish Girls, 2 and 2, 496 points for. We don't have to go into that one too much. At number 6, Midget Shoulders. I know he has a lot of points, but I still think his team is still a little bit suspect. I don't know where he's going to end up, but at number 6, that's a pretty good spot to be in. At number 5, this is where things get a little crazy. We're going to give it to RG Three-Way. He has 544 fantasy points. He's, I think, second in points for, but his team with George Kittle, he traded away Higgins. I think his team's still pretty good. He's got Olave, he's got Jerry Jeudy, but to be honest, this league is still wide open for anyone to take it. At number 4, I'm going to have to give this to Roosevelt Rough Riders. Every week we hate on his team, but his team with St. Brown coming back, having A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb. I mean, his first 4 studs could win him a league. Aaron Rodgers is having a tough time at quarterback, and his tight ends are pretty suspect, but I still have to give him one of the top spots at number 4. At number 3, no question here, Papa J's Kool-Aid. Great guy, great friend, great boss. You can catch me at a farmer's market in November. He's at number 3 at 3 and 1. And then at number 2, I have to give this to the guy I've been giving number 1. His team is still very good, but this league is horseshit at 3 and 1 is the number 2 power rankings. He has Mahomes, he has Diggs, he has James Conner, Sanders, Kelsey, Curtis Samuel, James Robinson's on the bench, Kareem Hunt, DJ Moore, if anyone can figure out why Baker Mayfield can't give him the ball. And then at number 1, we have Bilbo Swaggins, 4-0, the only undefeated team in the league, the guy that takes the least amount of time to draft, mock, everything. Every week he does not give a shit. He is 4-0. To be honest, he reminds me of Barry the year Barry won it all, I think, even though we voided that, when he had the least amount of points against. Just great defense scheduling-wise. So right now, we have Bilbo Swaggins at the top spot. Next and foremost, we're going to go into the Week 5 schedule. This is where we discuss who I think is going to win, spreads, all that fun stuff. Obviously, I don't know if people have their right teams in yet. It is Thursday, going into the final hours before the first set of games starts. So hopefully we do get a trade. We probably won't. But the first game I'd like to discuss, this is going to be a clear blowout. This helps us know that we have someone that's going to end up in last place. By week 7, by week 8, it's over. This league is horseshit, 146.65 to Dwayne The Rock Hard Johnson's 129. So that's a 17-point spread. I think right now James's team is on the just struggling. He needs to make a trade, but no one wants to trade with him. Kamara looks stinky. Godwin is shaky, but hopefully he comes back. He looks like he could be a wide receiver 1, but we will see what happens there. Then we have midget shoulders versus Papa J's. This is a -4 spread for Papa J's. Again, Papa J's team, number 3, I believe I gave him in the power rankings, facing midget shoulders, which is a middle of the round, middle pack team. I just think Papa J's is going to pull this one off. And then we got Bilbo's Wagons versus ELE. This is a tough one. There's a great friend of mine, ELE, but he's playing my brother. So right now, it's basically even spread-wise, but because Adam has the lucky rabbit's foot in his ass right now, I'm going to give him the win, be 5-0. I'd love, if I can't win it, I hope my brother wins it. He can get a nice little ring. And then also we have RG Three-Way versus Roosevelt's Rough Riders. RG Three-Way is a -4 favorite. Yes, I did give GB a higher power ranking, but Kyle's team, if George Kittle can finally find his place, I think Kyle's team is an easy playoff contender, where GB's team can still fall off a cliff. We've seen it. We've seen it every year. He's never placed top 3 ever in our league. You can fact check me on that. He's never top 3 ever. He's never made it to the semis or even won in the consolation round. So I think that's a no doubter there. And then we have Cam Marries Jewish Girls versus Alex the Great. For some reason, Luke only has one guy starting right now, Cortland Sutton. He is pulling I'm not putting anyone in until they play to make it look like it's a blowout. So I'm going to give this one to Cam's Married Jewish Girl just because I want to see Alex Conti equals Fantasy Pros, whatever you want to call him. Alex the Great. I hope he loses. And then the game of the week, I think every week I play, it seems like that game is the game of the week. I don't know if it's because of my standings or my status in this league. Everyone wants to fucking kill me. They want to beat me. Cam hates when I go this ego mode. But to be honest, with that first win, if I get 2, we all know what happens once I start rolling. So Future Dilf versus AC equals Fantasy Pros. Pat has a -8 advantage. JT's hurt. Cordell's on the IR. I have Stevenson. I still have Leonard Fournette. So my team is not that bad, but if Allen gets hurt or anyone else on my wide receiver core can't play, I am literally going to struggle. But again, Pat has Hines, Eckler, Gabriel Davis, he's still starting. Tyreek Hill versus the Jets. I think he's going to go off, so obviously I might end up with the loss, but I hope I don't. But other than that, it was a great week 4 for everyone. I hope week 5 is even better for certain people. But again, thank you. God bless. And like I said, I am back. I finally got a dub. It took a while, but I did get that dub. And at this point, I hope everyone has a good weekend.